extra classes for revision. So extra classes are supposed to be for the syllabus which has not been covered so far, right? So they have
Yes, sir. So there will be no syllabus, so ma'am will take the revision tests and questions.
good, good. So that is for the practice purposes. Good, good. Yeah. Okay, good. So we will also try to cover, but we will keep our pace not that fast, right? So now we can slow down because the syllabus is come. Oh, not slow down because statistics is there. So TAA. Oh, correct. Okay. So the first thing that we will do is that so let's say in your school, right, in your class, you have students, and let's say you are making a data on the ages of the students, right? So you are in 10th standard, so let's say the ages would be around 13 to what 12 to 15, right? So you make a data, right? So let's say you make a data like, let's say in your in your class there are 40 students, right? And in your ninth class you have already learned that how to make a data out of some information, right? So a data has a particular meaning, right? And you represent all the information in a table, and those collection of numbers are called the data, right? So in your ninth standard, you studied the ungrouped data. So in your ungrouped data, there was only two information. So one was about, let's say you are in your class. This is the ages of the students. So let's say you have 12 years. Let's say you have 13 years, and let's say you have 14 years and 15 years, and let's say there is some old guy, so 19 years, right? And let's say a very sharp student, a very prodigal child, so let's say 10 years, right? Do you have this data set in your class? You guys have?
No, sir.
Good. So then that is okay. And then let's say the second part was the so this is called the xi, right? And the second part is how many 10 years old students are there. So this is, as you guys have already learned in your ninth class, this was called the frequency, right? So how many 10 years old guys are there? So this would be a very less number. Let's say one. And let's say 19 years, let's say one. And 12 years, let's say this there are three, and then 13 years, let's say 12, and then 14 years, let's say 22, and then how much? So let's say this is five. So these are the numbers of 10 years old student, 12 years. So these are called frequency, and we call them FI, right? So whenever we add these numbers, so this is called the Fi, summation of Fi. So this is a Greek notation, which is the capital sigma. So this is capital sigma, and this represents. So this is capital sigma, right? And this represents sum. This is called summation. Okay. So if we add all these numbers, so this would be called sum of Fi, right? Now, in the ungrouped data in your ninth class, you made this xi into fi. So you multiply these 10 into 1, right? You multiply this. So these are called the xi into fi, product of xi and fi. And then you add them up. So then you calculate summation of fi xi, right? So now from these information you calculate the mean of the data. X bar, this is represented by, this is called bar. So this is your X bar. How do we write X bar? This is X bar, and this represents mean. So mean is defined as summation of fi xi divided by fi. So this you have learned in your ninth class, right? Do you guys remember now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we will in this class we will do the upgradation of that, right? So before I do that, yeah. So what is this mean? So this is the central tendency of the data, right? So let's say most of the data are centered around this value, right? So whatever you have the ages of the students in your class, so there would be certain age that most of the students would lie in that range. So that is called the central tendency, which is defined by me. And you guys will learn about the other central tendency, which is the median and mode, but we'll talk about them in at some point, at some later point, right? So you guys please note that down, and then we will talk about the grouped data, right? So why do we need this group data? We have this ungrouped data, so why do we need this group data? So you guys please note down this part so that you guys just remember this one, and then we'll do this grouped data. Okay. So you multiply this one, this one, this one, this one, and then you just add. Whenever you guys have noted it down, please tell me, then we'll do this.
Noted, sir. Alhamdulillah.
Noted. Tejasvi and Abir, what about you
Yes,
guys?
sir.
Abir, noted.
Yes, sir. Noted.
Okay. So let's say we have this kind of data. So this is the marks of some students, right? So let's say somebody did very poorly in the exam, and I pray that this is not you guys, right? And I know that this will not be you guys. So this is something like is 60, 65, and let's say 80, right? Or let's say 90 and 95. Let's say we have different kinds of. So if I write all the numbers, let's say if I write, let's say 10, somebody got 25, somebody got 26, somebody got 48, somebody got. So if I write all these marks, this would be a very long table, right? So to write so to write the ungrouped data, right? This would be very lengthy. So we can convert the same information by grouping these data together, right? So that is why do the question is that why do we need grouped data, right? So the simple answer is that to shorten the information, which was very long. And ultimately, making the calculation simple. So this is the human tendency, right? We always do those things which is simple, right? Or which we try to make simple. So this is why we need the grouping of the data. So what do we do that? What do we do then? So let's say we write these data. So we take a group. So let's say we take 10 to let's say 25, right? So in this range, whatever the marks were there, so we write those marks, right? So let me take, okay, so this is 10 to 25, and this is called the class interval, right? So when we are grouping the data, so first we decide a range of the marks, right? So this is called the class interval, and this class interval has this part is called the lower limit, and this part is called the upper limit, right? So let's say similarly we write 25 to, let's say how much, 15, which is 40, and then 40 to 55, and then 55 to, let's say 70, 70 to 85, and then 85 to 100. So we have just tidied up this information. This was a very long information, right? And we have represented the same information in how many lines? One, two, three, four, five, six. So in 6 lines, we have represented that bigger information. So this is how this group data is important. Understood, everyone? Why do we need this group data?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now then we similarly write the frequency. So let's say from 10 to not this 25. So this is called the frequency. Let's say from 10 to 25 is let's say 3, then this is 2, then this is let's say 8, and then this is 20, and then so I'm taking the larger numbers. Okay, this is let's say 7 people got or 8 people got, and here are you guys. So inshallah, here are you guys. Let's say the people are, let's say 6, right? So from 10 to 25, and in here, so this is a group data, but in here this 25 is not counted. So let me write it in the note that upper limit is not counted. So in this type of grouped data, where this upper limit becomes the lower limit of the successive class interval, so in that, this 25 is not counted here. This 25 is counted here. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is actually from 10 to 24, right? This 25 is not counted here. This is counted here. This is 25 to 39. So this is how the counting goes. Okay. Now we have this Fi. So as in ungrouped data, we had this Xi, right? So this Xi role is played by the class mark, right? So what do we call class marks? So class marks is defined by, okay, so class marks which plays the role of Xi, this is defined by lower limit plus upper limit by 2, right? So these would be the Xi. So In this case, what would be the class mark? So 10 plus 25, 35 by 2, so 17.5, right? And then this is 25 to 40, so 65 by 2, which is how much? 65 by 2, which is 32.5, right? And then you have this 7 and 47.5. No, not 47, but okay, 47.5, right? And then 62.5, and then how much? 77.5, and then you have this 92.5. So these are the XIs. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And then, as you guys have calculated, so when we want to calculate mean, what do we calculate? We calculate summation of Fi xi divided by Fi. Right? This is called X bar. So similarly, what we will do here, that we will calculate Fi xi. So we will make a table of Fi xi. So this is, oh God. So are you allowed to use the calculator?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so then we will see that whenever you get these kind of numbers, so this 17, 32, 47, these are larger numbers. So in my next class, I will tell you guys that which method you should use. So let me first talk about this method, that is Fi by Fi. So I can use the calculator as for now, but I will tell you the other method where you will not need the calculator. So that is why this calculator is not allowed, because we can do this calculation without using the calculator, right? So let me, but for now, let me use the calculator. So this is 52.5, and then this is 32.5, 65, and then 8 into 47.5, 80. Okay, so, and then 20.5. So 1250, and then 77.5 into 8, so 620, and then 6 into 92.5, so 555. So this is your FIXI. Now let us calculate. So this is summation of FI. So this is how much? First let us calculate. So this is 620 by, this is summation of FIXI, which is 2922.5, right? And then we have this summation of FI, which is how much? So 8 2 plus 2 10 13, 13 and 6 19 and 8 27 and 20 47. So summation of Fi is 47. Let me check again. So plus so 47. So now what do we have? We know that X mean is a summation of Fi xi divided by Fi. So this would be 2922.5 divided by 47. So this is how much? 2922.5 divided by 47. So this is 62.1801. So this is the mean, right? This is the mean of the grouped data. So you guys saw that we calculated the class marks first, and then we calculated FIXI, and then we calculated the. So this method is called the direct method. This method of calculating the mean is called direct method. And we will learn about two other methods which will simplify these things. So you had these multiplication, big multiplication, but you guys will see that we can simplify these things. Okay, using the other methods. So any question up to this point, guys?
No,
Any
sir.
question?
Yes,
So
sir.
you, yeah, so you guys please note down this part. This direct method, you guys please note down. So the idea of grouped data and what is class mark and what is class interval, and then from direct method, how do we calculate the mean? So in this chapter, these are very important. First, we have to make this, and then if these are simpler, then we use direct method, and if numbers are bigger, then we use the other method. So we will see in few moments then when we should use this other methods. And today, guys, you will have this extra class. I was saying in the earlier batch that you guys please be there. So I will take a sample paper and then I will talk about the marks distribution and all. So please be there, guys. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
I might not be able to join because I have tomorrow also. I have exam tomorrow.
Which exam?
I
Which
have
exam?
social, sir.
Social studies.
Yes.
So why are you here? You should have been preparing the exam, right?
No, sir, it's fine because we are starting a new topic, so I'll just study afterwards. It's okay.
Okay, okay, okay. So don't take. So I will. We can repeat these things again, right? So you have exam. You should be there preparing. Okay, no worries. And you already know the. So in that class, I will be talking about that the distribution of marks, right? 4 marks question and 6 marks question. So in those type of question, we should write everything, right? We should not directly do the question so that they will not be able to cut the marks. So those are the things that I will be talking about. And you guys already know. So, but Tejasvi and Meera, you guys don't have any work, so please be there. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Noted, sir.
noted, noted. So, and Abir, all the best for that exam, right? So that is half yearly.
No, sir, it's not half yearly, but because second term has started and it's like we have gotten a new head of section, so there's new rules coming in every day. So it's like weekly we will have a test that will be recorded and added in the end. So
Arey, what is happening in the world? So much pressure in
yes, sir,
my.
and then we have Saturday classes as well. So only one day holiday, and then Friday we have tuition tests. So
Okay, so you guys are taking lots of pressure. In my days, I used to. Okay, so those were the good times. Yeah, you guys are brave and you guys are strong, right? Okay, yeah, noted everybody.
Yes, sir.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so now this was, as you guys understood, that this is called the direct method, right? But as you guys can see that these are bigger numbers, right? So how can we reduce our effort, right? So we don't have to do these lengthy calculations. So to do that, we have this other method which is called, right, so let me bring this one. Yeah, so the other method is, this method is called the assumed mean method. This is the second method of calculating the mean, and this is called the assumed mean method. Right. So as the name suggests, we have to assume, right? Initially, we have to assume the mean, right? So we don't need this one. And let's say we assume that this is the mean. So this is the A that we have assumed, right? This is the mean. And what we do is that we make another table of, so this we calculate DI. This is called deviation, and this is calculated by xi minus A. So first we assume this mean, and then we make the table of DI. So DI is xi minus A, right? So 17.5 minus 62.5. So how much is that? Okay. So let me. So 17.5 minus 62.5 minus 45. Okay, and then 32.5 minus 62.5. So minus 30. Then again, I guess this is minus 15. This is 0. Then this is 15, and then this is 30. So these are the numbers, right? And then what we do is that then we make another table, and in that table we calculate FIDI, right? So as in the previous case we calculated FIXI, now we will calculate FIDI. So minus 45 into 3, how much is that? So 3 5s are 15, and so this we can calculate, right? This is minus 60, this is 120, right? And this is 0, this is again 120, and then this is 180. So this we can do by hand. This was a bit lengthy, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now we have to add them up. FIDI, as we did in the previous case. So what would be that? These are positive, so this is 300, and negative ones are how much? So this is 180, 180, 135. So 5, 315. So this is 315 minus this is 50. So we will get minus 50. Right, guys? So as you guys can see that this is a very small number, right? So we have this FIDI, and from the assumed mean method, the mean is equal to A plus summation of FIDI divided by summation of FI. So in the direct method, what was the mean? In the direct method, the mean was summation of Fi xi divided by Fi. But in assumed mean method, mean method, this is how you calculate the mean. So A we know this is 62.5. Summation of FIDI we have calculated minus 15. divided by 47. So this is how much? Oh, who got disconnected? So my 15 divided by 47. So 62.5 minus this is minus 60.5. So 62.18 we get. So that's so we will get 0.319, and when we subtract it with 62.5, so we'll get 62.18. So this is the mean. So which was the lengthy calculation, guys? This one or this one? Yes,
So this one was more lengthy.
this was one more
This one.
lengthy.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
This
but
one,
you guys can see that this had a very large. But I used calculator. That is why it got easy. But this part I did without using the calculator, right? This part, let's say that you assume that you have to not use this one. So if you calculate this point 0.5 decimal and multiply all these numbers, so this would be difficult, right? I did some cheating. That's why this looked simpler, right? Okay, but we have another method. So in this you got this one, right? So let's say that you are still getting these larger numbers, 45, 30, 15, right? So we have another method and we can use that method also. But what was the mean that we got? 62.18. And in the direct method, what did we get? 62.18. So the answer is same. Whatever method we choose, the answer would be same. Understood? Yes, guys, understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And who got disconnected? Tejasvi? Oh, Tejasvi
No,
is here.
sir. Learnivio got disconnected.
Oh, yeah. Super. Okay, so and let us derive that. How do we get this result? So how do we get the definition of mean by this? So what did we assume? We assumed that di is xi minus a. So this is the proof of assuming. This part is not needed, but for the knowledge purpose, I am just talking this part. So di is this. And if you calculate the mean, so how do we calculate the mean? Let's say if you have, let's say y, and I want to calculate the mean of y. So what I do is that I take summation of fi yi divided by fi. This is the definition of mean, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's say that I take the mean of this here. So this would be d bar, this would be x bar, but this is a constant number, right? Let's say let me write it as a bar. Okay. So d bar is how much? D bar is summation of fi di divided by fi. This is mean that we want to calculate, right? And this is FIA. This is not AI because this is a fixed number, and this is FI. So this part, this is FIDI divided by FI. This is the mean that we want to calculate. In here, A is taken outside FI by FI. So this part gets cancelled, and X bar mean is this part goes in the left hand side, a plus fi di by fi. So this is how you get the mean in assumed mean method. This is not important, but just for the sake of knowledge, right? That why do you get this formula? Okay, so you guys please note down this part, and then we'll learn about the other method. So we have to make the extra tables, DI and FIDI. And now let's see if I have this other method. So you guys have discarded this method, right? Assume mean method you guys have discarded. So let's, yeah, I will talk about the other method, and that you guys will surely find easier one. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please note it down, guys, and then we'll talk about the next method. So we have three methods to calculate the mean, and yeah, so
Noted, sir.
noted. Yes, Amira and Tejasvi, what about you guys?
Done, sir.
So,
Done. Good. So, okay, so if you guys want to note down this part, oh, this part you also have to. This part you guys please note it down, and then proof part you want to note it down, then yeah, please note it down. And if you don't want, so that is not necessary.
Noted, sir.
Noted. Okay, this part also.
Yes, sir.
And Abir and Tejasvi, what about you guys?
just a
Sir, can you
minute. Sir.
scroll up a little?
Okay,
Done, sir.
done.
Done, sir.
Okay, so the next method is step deviation method. So again, if you have a very large numbers, right? So then you guys should use this method, step deviation method. So in step deviation method, what you do? So first, let me talk about you have this class interval, right? So there is a term called class size. So class size, and how do you calculate the class size? So let me talk about that in here. So you have a class size which is represented by h, and this is upper limit minus lower limit, right? So what is the range of the class interval that you are taking? So that is represented by this class size, right? Okay, so now let us do this problem. Okay, so we have this data, and what is h in here, guys? What is class size? What is the class size for this data, guys?
15.
15.
15, right? So h is 25 minus 10, which is 15. Yes, correct. Okay, so you have this fi, you have this xi, you have this di. Then you calculate one another quantity which is ui, and this is di by h, right? So you have this minus 45 divided by 15. So minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Now, can you guys tell me if I tell you guys to calculate Fi Ui? So you guys can see that this would be easy or difficult in comparison to Fixi and Fidi. Yes,
Easy.
easy, right? Because 3 into 3. So minus 9, minus 4. This is, I don't need to use the calculator, right? 0, 8, and 12. So this is 20, and this is how much? 21. So this is 1. So summation of FIUI is how much? Minus 1. Right, guys? So which was, now you guys can tell me which one is simpler?
This one.
This one, right? So this is a very small quantity. So to calculate the mean from this method, this is represented by A, and class size into FIUI divided by FI. So this is 62.5 plus H is 15 into 1, which is minus 1 divided by 47. Right. So this is 62.5 minus 15 by 47 is how much? Mm, So 0.319. So you will get the same result. What was the result? 62.18. Right. So again, you got the same result, but the method is different. So this method, x bar equal to a plus h summation of fi ui divided by summation of fi. This is called the step division method. So whenever you have these larger numbers, so you guys can see that FIXI, this is this multiplication, right? And now you have this FIUI, which is this multiplication. So you guys can see that this is more easy to calculate, right?
Yes,
Under
sir.
so you guys please note it down, and then I will, yeah, so we'll do the question in the next class. So I will show you the proof of this part also, but yeah, you guys please note it down. Today is 13th. Let's say in 2 classes or more, we complete the statistics, and then you guys please start revising. 0.18 we got. Yeah, whenever you guys want me to scroll down, please tell.
Done, sir.
Done.
Done, sir.
Got it, sir.
Okay, this part also.
No, sir.
Okay. What happened to you, Abhi? So, yeah, have you started taking the pressure of the exam? Are you feeling so the pressure already?
Yeah, sir. Since after vacation, this is like the first week where it's going on, but it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So
able to manage.
just chill. So, okay, just prepare well and then take the exam, right? So,